Lisa Broyles here with Way to Health MD. There's been a lot of controversy recently politically about seed oils, so I wanted to address it. Seed oils are generally oils that come from, you guessed it, seeds. These are corn oil, cottonseed oil, rapeseed oil, for example, soybean oil. So what's the deal? Are they safe? Are they not? So first you need to understand omega-3s versus omega-6s. So these seed oils are high in omega-6s, which some omega-6 is fine and healthy for us. The issue is balance and too much. So our bodies make more of whatever oil we are consuming. So there's this one enzyme called delta-6 desaturase, and that enzyme is going to make more either omega-3s or omega-6s, and we want it to make more omega-3s, but it will make more of whatever you eat more of. And honestly, omega-6s are in most of the foods that we eat. They're in all the meats, especially chicken. Dark meat chicken is the highest in omega-6s of all meat. Actually, red meat tends to be the lowest in omega-6s depending on the type of meat. So for example, a cow that has been grass-fed is going to have a lot better ratio of more omega-3s to omega-6s versus a feedlot cow that has been fed corn to fatten it up and make the meat more fatty. That is going to be a high omega-6 steak, for example. So that's another benefit of going grass-fed. So even eggs, the ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s in eggs depends on what that hen is fed. So if that hen is not allowed to free range and it's fed strictly a corn and soybean diet, then those are not as good for you. So this is another reason to get free range eggs that those chickens have been fed more of an omega-3 rich diet. So there are other foods that contain omega-6s that you should be aware of. Nuts, for example. So all nuts and even walnuts, and I encourage my patients to eat raw walnuts because of their omega-3 content, but they also do have omega-6s. So it's all about balance. Sunflower seeds actually have an extremely high amount of omega-6s. Just 1 ounce of sunflower seeds gives you half of your total daily intake that you need. Corn chips. So if you're sitting down to some corn chips and salsa, 1 cup of those corn chips is 80% of your recommended daily intake of omega-6s, not to mention whatever oil, probably corn oil, that those were fried in. So the issue is trying to avoid cooking with omega-6 oils because we already get plenty of omega-6 foods in our diet, healthy or otherwise. So I do recommend avoiding cooking with corn oil, canola oil, which is rapeseed oil, not inherently bad per se, but the processing of the oil leads to more of an inflammatory oil. It was first produced in Canada, so the name canola is Canadian oil for the rapeseed oil. Again, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, these should all be avoided. I personally cook with olive oil for low heat cooking below 400 degrees. Olive oil is actually an omega-9, so it's neither a 3 or a 6. And yes, you guessed it, 9s are really beneficial for us too. So olive oil, however, becomes rancid if you cook at high heat. So don't fry anything on the range top. You should not use olive oil. So I bake at 375 or less with olive oil, and I also pour it over salads, make salad dressings. For high heat cooking, I use exclusively avocado oil and coconut oil. So coconut oil is a healthy saturated fat that's actually good for our brains. So I use lots of coconut oil. I always fry my eggs in that. So I hope this makes a little bit of sense as to if you have small amounts of omega-6 oils, that's fine. Just don't overdo it. Try to avoid highly processed foods because they are usually cooked in omega-6 oils. Especially avoid oils that say hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated. The process of hydrogenating makes the oil much worse for us. It creates trans fats, which are very stiff, and they get incorporated into your cell membrane and prevent cells from talking to each other and absolutely wreak chaos in your body. So avoid partially hydrogenated and hydrogenated oils and just minimize the omega-6 oils in your diet. Thank you.